Hello, I'm Hal Ottaway with the Wichita Postcard Club, and it's time once again for a postcard of the week. This week, I have a real photograph postcard that I have really enjoyed studying and looking at it and visiting with my friend Alan about it this morning and, comparing and talking about it. And he has made me aware of other image or other parts of the image, and I wanted to share some of those discoveries with you. If we look at this postcard, let me tell you, first of all, it's a real photograph postcard. It was printed on real photograph paper. And so on the back or the reverse, it says postcard and it has a stamp box, a place for your stamp. All of that getting ready to mail it. This one was never mailed. It may have been mail put in an envelope in mail. That's possible. But in any case, it was saved. And thank goodness we have it today to look at and to study and smile about. Over here at the right edge of the postcard, there's what we call a blind stamp. And this, if you're aware of going to the courthouse, say, or to a notary public and getting their notarization, indicating that you are who you are and you're wanting them to sign this paper. When they get all finished, they sometimes would lick a seal on there and then squeeze it with this hand device that is like a blind stamp. It's a blind stamp, and this was made by a hand device, handheld device that squeezes the paper, and it says Ash Studio, Kingman, Kansas. That's our big clue, really the only clue that we have for this card. Well, this morning, Alan was helpful, and he found a good picture of the Kingman County Courthouse in Kingman, Kansas. And lo and behold, when you compare them, look at them together, this is indeed our postcard is a picture of the entryway into the Kingman County Courthouse. Look at the stairway going up, and then this banister, so to speak, at either side. This is the location for sure. There are 30 some men here on the steps of the courthouse. They're all dressed in suits, and so most of them have ties, and I think almost everyone is wearing some kind of a hat. Now, that's just the way men dressed back in the earlier days. They didn't have tennis shoes and t-shirts like we're wearing today. But this is how you presented yourself. And, I don't know for sure, and I can't, tell you exactly, but it appears to me to be that this may be recruits for the armed services waiting to be assembled. They are assembled here now and waiting to probably walk to the train station, get on a train, and go to a military training camp someplace. There was Camp Funkston, there was Fort Riley, right here in Kansas, but they may have been taken elsewhere too, depending on the needs and the training facilities available at the time. Over here on the left edge of the postcard, you see somebody took a pencil and they made an arrow. And so it points to the two men on the very left of the image on the lower stair steps. And we don't know who that is, but we assume that somebody did when they were pointing out somebody, but that's still a mystery, something we can't solve today. But take a closer look at the men, what they're wearing, their suits. You see some have ribbons And I'm a collector of World War One and World War II patriotic pinback buttons and badges for the most part. But I can see little, or they appear small in the picture, but little bows that may have been fashioned out of ribbon. And the ones in my collection, for the most part, are red, white, and blue. And so they would have had a little stick pin, and it would have been something they could have easily pinned to their lapel area on the suits that they're wearing. But you see some of that. These two men on the front row appear to have, it looks like the shipping tag, maybe. And we don't know if they're turned around, or I doubt if they were just blank. They must have said something maybe on the other side, or maybe with a better image with more pixels and so forth. We could have read it, but we can't do that with our equipment that we have here today. But I assume that that would have been something that would have helped to organize the group. They may have been a leader of a group or something, but they had this identification tag on them. So all of these things are, we assume and we hope and we think this is what it is, but it's fun. It's part of the joy of collecting and looking at historical images such as this is, and to kind of figure it out. And we hope that you'll have fun looking at it closer too in some of these close-up images that we're giving you today. And then certainly this great discovery that we made showing the old and the contemporary county courthouse from Kingman, Kansas. We think you'll enjoy that. And hope you've enjoyed this postcard. We think it's probably from World War One recruits. The war had started in 1914 with France and Great Britain and Germany. And then our involvement, the United States became involved in the war in 1917, I believe in April. And so men needed to be recruited, they needed to be trained, and then they were sent over there. And that meant, getting on a troop ship and going across the Atlantic Ocean to usually France or to Belgium. But hope you've enjoyed this postcard today and look forward to seeing you again next week for another image of some kind. Thank you.